Good morning, everybody. I am Swati Shah with PlansConnect, and we're having another mid-month meeting of the minds. Today, I have Dr. Kerry Krauss here. She's a fellow OBGYN located in the Northeast of the United States, and I'm so excited to have her share with you her passion for what she does and why she's doing it. So I'll hand it over to her to introduce herself. Kerry, take it away.
Thanks so much for having me, Swati. I'm happy to be here. And as you said, I'm a practicing OBGYN in Philadelphia, outside of Philadelphia, PA. Been practicing for about the last 10 years. Love what I do, love women's health. It absolutely fuels everything that I do, both in my job and outside my job. I also recently took a position as a senior medical advisor at Natural Cycles, which is a company that provides digital birth control using fertility awareness principles and some modern innovations such as wearable devices and data algorithms and even AI to help predict fertility to either get pregnant, prevent pregnancy, or follow a pregnancy. So I've also gotten into the femtech sphere a bit. And actually, that's how Swati and I met was through a Facebook group that I formed for OBGYN physicians that are in the femtech world. So yeah, glad we got connected, Swati, and excited to talk to you today.
Thank you. I think it's fantastic. You are embracing modern technology. Right before we launched today's podcast, we talked about the future, and we have to embrace AI and all the evolving changes that are in our world today. Can you share a little bit about what you see in terms of the vision of Femtech or what you're working on?
Sure, absolutely. One of my favorite topics to talk about. I think one reason I was specifically really interested in natural cycles is I think we've all experienced, those of us in women's health that the a period is really an untapped vital sign that we have of the body. This is telling us if our body is, in alignment and is functioning, the way it should be. And, the other piece that we've often missed with this vital sign is ovulation, right? Like we were able to tell when we were bleeding, but oftentimes we weren't able to tell whether or not we were ovulating. So I think the reason this product really resonated with me is that because you can tell when you ovulate based on a shift in your basal body temperature. This used to be, I mean, this has been used for centuries. People have known about this, and you take your temperature every morning, and then you can sort of graph it out and correlate it when you might be ovulating. But what is really nice about some of these innovations and technology that we've had is all of a sudden we've made this so much easier, right? We have the Aura Ring, which takes your temperature. We have the Apple Watch, which can measure your temperature while you're sleeping. And it really makes fertility awareness so much more accessible. And a big thing that I want to see happen in this world is for more women to have good information about their bodies, right? Like, I think the more you can know about how your body is functioning, the better you will then be able to approach problems in your health or, not only reproductive health, but overall health. We know conditions like PCOS, which is a condition where you may not ovulate on a regular basis, are linked with diabetes, cardiovascular disease, metabolic problems. So all of these things, I think this is a, like I said, a vital sign that we need to be paying more attention to. And a lot of these modern innovations have made it possible for us to monitor this in a much easier way and even share this information with our doctor more easily.
So true. And the data has shown that the more you educate women on themselves, the better their families are, the healthier they are. I mean, that's a very standard public health approach. And I also have that background in public health. So I think what you're doing with in the world of femtech is fantastic. We can embrace the technology. So, tell me a little bit more. How did you get to working with natural cycles? Like how was the path? Do you have anything you can share?
Sure. So, and this I think dovetails well into a lot of our conversations that we've had, Swati, but I really consider myself like not the most technologically savvy person. I sort of knew about LinkedIn, but hadn't really been using it to its full potential. And, I was sort of interested in exploring more beyond the clinical world and sort of started, playing around on LinkedIn, looking at different companies. And I was like, looking at my own profile, and I'm like, huh, I really need to beef this thing up. Like this just, I feel like this doesn't say anything about me. And we all know that networking is one of the best ways to get into a new field, right? And, sort of start making connections and, all of a sudden, okay, one person you talk to knows somebody else. And that's a really great way to break into a new field. So I updated my LinkedIn profile and I got emailed by a recruiter or sorry, LinkedIn messaged by a recruiter who said, "Are you interested in consulting for a medical device? We think you'd be a great fit based on your background." And it ended up being natural cycles. And so that's kind of how that all happened. So it just shows the power of using these tools like LinkedIn, like, even social media can be a really powerful tool to break into a new field. Even at Natural Cycles, we use social media, doctors who are very influential on social media and have large followings. We will often reach out to them and say, hey, we want to talk to you. We might, be interested in putting out some content with you. So we really have to use these new tools, and podcasts are also a great way to reach a large audience. So I think, we have to shift the way we think about, information and ways we communicate and networking too.
I agree with you. This is a great story on the power of networking and networking online with LinkedIn. So thank you for sharing. That's so amazing that, the company noticed you because you updated your profile. You just never know what can happen. And I firmly believe that you should keep your profile up to date. So, yeah, I this is so exciting. Your story, what else drives you?
Well,
Anything you want to
yeah.
share in particular?
I really feel like in a lot of ways this was sort of my dream job. I think I love being a doctor and practicing medicine. Like I still, haven't quite gotten over how cool it is to deliver a baby and sort of thrive on that whole aspect of things. But having this to kind of complement my clinical work has been just so exhilarating. I think a lot of us that are in the clinical world feel somewhat like sometimes it can feel like you don't have enough time with patients, that you can't really have as much of an impact as you want to have and really give them all the information because you're just so strapped for time. You only have maybe 5 minutes or even less to talk with each individual patient. And I think a lot of us got into this because we like that communication with our patients. And I think if we use more of these digital tools that are starting to come out, even like fertility support products that are out there to sort of provide counseling and coaching to help you navigate this really complex medical landscape, whatever health issues you're facing. I think, I really believe in the power of tech to help bridge some of these gaps and ultimately contribute to health equity. Because again, equity starts with information, right? And access. So if we can get these products to more people, more, and most of us have smartphones in this world, right? Like, even um, lower income populations usually have smartphones. So it's, again, not always, but I think this is where we can really start using some of these tools to better everyone's lives.
That's a great point. In today's day and age, almost everyone has a smartphone all around the world, and having an app that can work with information as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection or even a little bit of cellular data can do so much to educate the woman and her family and the individual. And yes, we should embrace the technology. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Femtech is definitely a part of our future, and it's here to stay, as well as the use of social media, whether it's LinkedIn for work or just information sharing via other platforms. So, Kerry or Dr. Krauss, thank you so much for sharing your passion with us today and telling us your story. I think it's fantastic that you're able to do both non-clinical and clinical work. There are days that I kind of miss delivering a baby, but other days I'm really happy to sleep at night. So, I Kudos to you. You've got it all. And thank you so much for being on my podcast today. Mid-month meeting of the minds. Follow PlansConnect for more. Follow Natural Cycles for more information on fertility awareness and ovulation awareness. I hope I'm saying that correctly, Carrie. And do you want them to, what channels is Natural Cycles and you? What are you on?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram as Carrie Elizabeth. It's my last or middle name and my first name. And then Natural Cycles is just at Natural Cycles on Instagram. We also have a Facebook community, and we can definitely share those links in the show notes as well if you want.
Perfect. All right. Thanks so much and have a great afternoon.
Thanks, you too. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.